white fire, crystal light, white fire, crystal light, clear crystal fire light, clear crystal fire light, clear crystal fire light, white crystal fire light, white crystal fire light, white crystal fire light, gold crystal fire light, gold crystal fire light, gold crystal fire light. I am my muddy, 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 I am translucent golden flame of light, with purpose fill my aura bright, until I've won the victory, to express my self-mastery. Golden wisdom of universal mind, release the mastery of space and time. I am the master of my destiny, translucent gold light blaze in me, translucent golden flame of light, with purpose fill my aura bright, until I've won the victory, to express my self-mastery. Golden wisdom of universal mind, release the mastery of space and time. I am the master of my destiny, translucent gold light blaze in me, translucent golden flame of light, with purpose fill my aura bright, until I've won the victory, to express my self-mastery. Golden wisdom of universal mind, release the mastery of space and time. I am the master, my destiny, translucent gold light blaze in me. Now blaze the violet flame, within, without, and all about, connecting with the light, connecting with our source of all sources. Blaze violet fire, blaze, we love you. Blaze violet fire, blaze. Blaze violet fire, blaze. Blaze violet fire, blaze. Blaze violet fire, blaze, we love you. Blaze violet fire, blaze. Blaze violet fire, blaze. See it. Blaze violet fire, blaze, we love you. Blaze violet fire, blaze. blaze, violet fire, blaze, blaze, violet fire, blaze, feel it, blaze, violet fire, blaze, we love you, blaze, violet fire, blaze, merge with it, blaze, violet fire, blaze, we love you, be it, blaze, violet fire, blaze, we love you, blaze, violet fire, blaze, blaze, violet fire, blaze, blaze, violet fire, blaze, blaze, violet fire, blaze, we love you, blaze, violet fire, blaze, blaze, violet fire, blaze. I am one with the Father, I am one with the Son, I am one with the Spirit, I am one with the One, I am one with the Father, I am one with the Son, I am one with the Spirit, I am one with the One, I am one with the Father, I am one with the Son, I am one with the Spirit, I am one with the One, I am one with the Father, I am one with the Son, I am one with the Spirit, I am one with the One, I am one with the Father, I am one with the Son, I am one with the Spirit, I am one with the One. Our Father, Mother God, the most holy of holies, the one without a second, the one with whom we all live, move, and have our being. We come to Thee, dear Lord, with an open heart and quiet mind, invoking thy holy and precious Spirit to come and rejoice with us as we sing praises to thy name. May the sound that we all emit bring joy and laughter to this world. Let peace be still. Let thy Prince of Peace reign in and upon this planet and in this earth. Heal, heal, heal all those who are suffering. May they one day, in an instant, in a blue lightning flash, rejoice. May they go about doing thy Father's work, our Father's work. Dearest Lord, and our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. We ask for healing, dear God, in the Christ's name, of all those souls that left their embodiment so abruptly, who are moving from death to immortality. May their luminosity angel, guardian angel, and angel of death guide them safely to thy bosom. And may their next lives be blessed with joy and prosperity and with great peace. Bless all who mourn. May thy comforting angel, thy comforter, spread thy blanket of peace and tranquility over and around and within their soul. God bless all creatures, great and small. We thank thee and we praise thee, for thou art the all-powerful, one God, one without a second. Amen and amen.
Amen and amen.
Om Tat Sat Om. Blessings and welcome. I'm Reverend Tara, and we're here at the Spirit of the Lotus on this day of November 15, year 2015. And for announcements, before we have Reverend Joseph announce the Indiegogo campaign, we'd like to celebrate and mention Diane Camillo's birthday, which was on the 13th of this month. So let's all sing happy birthday to Diane. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Diane. Happy birthday to you and many more. Happy birthday, Diane. Okay. Announcements were please start preparing yourselves for our retreat in 2016, which will be near the Grand Tetons, near Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And it will be from August the 27th through September 2nd. We'll depart on September 2nd. So when I have more information, it will be on karma and reincarnation and learning how to clear karma. And today we'll talk a little about that, which has a lot to do with conscience. But now we will have Reverend Joseph and the Indiegogo campaign.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining us for Sunday service this morning, and thank you everybody for watching on Ustream. So before I talk about the Indiegogo campaign, I wanted to talk about the church finances. We usually talk about this once per year. So what we're trying to do is raise some money to keep everything flowing smoothly with the church. For the center we have in Santa Clara, plus the centers in Albuquerque and Belen, we need approximately $1,600 per month just to pay all of the expenses for the different centers. So that includes rent. For instance, here in Santa Clara we pay $725 per month. We have the mortgage on the retreat land in New Mexico, and that's about $356 a month. In order to broadcast over Ustream without commercials or advertisements, that's $100 a month. We have our internet connection here in Santa Clara, which is $100 a month. Then we have the internet connections in Belen and Albuquerque. We have power. So again, it's about $1,600 a month just to keep the church doors open. So at this point, we actually need money for December to pay all of these expenses that I just mentioned. So if people could open up their pocketbooks and be generous once again, it would be greatly appreciated and would certainly help us out here financially. So that's that, and then on to the Indiegogo campaign. So we've been working on that, and for those of you who don't know, Indiegogo is a crowdsource funding mechanism through the internet. And what you do is you have a campaign on Indiegogo. And if you go to the Indiegogo website, it's INDIEGOGO, one word, .com. If you just go to that and do some searches, you'll see the various campaigns that people all over the world are running to raise funds for different projects. So we're going to be launching our Indiegogo campaign within, I believe, 2 weeks. We're still working on some of the content for the campaign. And what's the campaign for? We need a road out to the retreat land in Belen, New Mexico, in order for us to start construction on the retreat center. If we don't have a usable road up to code, we can't get the construction vehicles out there. So the road is going to be approximately 4 miles long, And it won't just benefit the church's land. This will benefit all the people who have land on this mesa who haven't built yet, which is the vast majority of people, next to this road. So we're hoping that people on the Belen Mesa or just below the mesa will be generous and contribute towards this road. It will allow the construction of the retreat center, the construction of various other religious and spiritual centers and homes. It will be a real boon to the community next to Belen. And it's going to be a great city of light. And that's how we're advertising the campaign. We're building a city of light, and we're reinvigorating small town America. So that's what the campaign's all about. We need $60,000. And of that amount, we have funds for the surveying of the actual road. It's a 4-mile long road, 24 feet wide, and the surveyor is going to find the most appropriate place for the road to be constructed. And then on top of the survey constructions, we actually have to build the road. So that is the remaining cost. So we'll let everybody know when we launch the campaign, and some of us will be calling you, emailing you, getting in contact with you, because right when we launch it, we want people to go on and, as much as you can, contribute financially. And the reason for that is you get more funding and donors from outside of just our community if they see that this project is actually getting funded. So we want to get some funds in there right off the bat. And even if you can't contribute financially or can't contribute a lot, if you could advertise it for us on social media. So through Facebook and Twitter and any other social media mechanism that you have, advertise our Indiegogo campaign so we can get the funds we need to get this road built. Last thing about finances, we're doing a little fundraising project by selling calendars, which we do every year. And these calendars should be on sale at least by early November. They're for the 2016 year. Each month we'll have a picture from our retreat in Sedona, and then in addition to the picture we'll have sayings, most of which were written by Reverend Tara, our head pastor and teacher here, and the calendars will be $20. So all of the profit we get from the calendars goes directly toward keeping our doors open and our lights on and internet connection going. So if you're interested in calendars, please let us know by emailing us at spiritofthelotus@gmail.com, and we'll make sure that we order the proper number of calendars. So that's it for the finances. If anybody has any questions, if you want to participate in the Indiegogo campaign in any fashion, contact us here. We'd love to have your support. So that's it. Next up is Reverend Tara for the homily.
Just a short note that today is the Diwali ends the Hindu New Year. So it's a very powerful day to do your meditation and to go within and to bring in the light. And what we will be sharing with you today is conscience. We don't talk about conscience too much because it's something that we all take for granted, that we all have a conscience. Conscience is a vehicle for both our memory and our will body. So what does this mean? That we wouldn't have a memory, we wouldn't have the ability to image if it weren't for our conscience. Our conscience is a soul grace. It walks hand in hand with our soul. It encompasses forgiving. It encompasses not only forgiving, but acceptance of who we are. Most people think a conscience is something to punish us with. It's something to beat us over the head with of all our wrong choices and what we did wrong. But our conscience is not that. It is, yes, it allows us for free will choice, but we learn from all the choices that we make so that we can make the so-called right choices that will help us progress spiritually. Many people think that with a conscience, we must take a stand in life. You know, we must be political, have a political party and make a stand, or have a cause and stand by our cause. It's nothing quite like that. Conscience is spiritual strength, the ability to stand up for what we believe in without fear, without doubt. So it is faith in who we are and what we stand for. So when we read this a while back, this little koan, it's called Shotaku's Paper Sword. It brought us to mind about conscience and spiritual strength. Shotaku, this is Japan, 13th century, and again we're reading from the Hidden Lamp. Shotaku was the third abbess of the Tokeji convent. One evening she was returning to Tokeji from a nearby monastery when a man armed with a sword accosted her and threatened to rape her. She took out a piece of paper and rolled it up, then thrust it like a sword at the man's eyes. He was completely overcome by her spiritual strength and was unable to strike her. He turned to run, and she gave him a Zen shout, hitting him and knocking him down with her sword. He fled. So, according to Nancy Mujo Baker's her reflections, she talks about this story about Dr. Hawa Abdi and who runs a small hospital that she built on her own land. It's the only hospital for miles around. And this is in Somalia. One day she heard gunshots. A group of warlords had surrounded the hospital with guns drawn. They belonged to one of Somalia's most fearsome militant groups, notorious for chopping off hands and stoning adulterers. "Why are you running this hospital?" they demanded. "You are old and you are a woman." She was held at gunpoint while the hospital was ransacked and severely damaged by the warlords' underlings. She was then put under house arrest for 5 days while the hospital was shut down. In that time, 24 malnourished children from the hospital died. Now, that's not the main part of the story. This is what is important. But then something extraordinary happened. Hundreds of women from the sprawling refugee camp on Dr. Abdi's property dared to protest, adding to a flood of condemnation from Somalis abroad that forced the gunmen to back down. Because of so much publicity about their misdeeds, they agreed to open the hospital again. But Dr. Abdi refused until the warlords apologized in writing. They did, in both English and Somali. In their document, they apologized to Dr. Abdi, to the NGOs helping in the camp, to the camp staff, and to the Somali people around the area who had lost loved ones. So these are examples of spiritual strength. How do we gain this spiritual strength within us? Do we have to be so angered? Do we have to be so put off by something that we react? Or is it something with us that's constant that we don't even think about? That at the moment, in that instant, when we are threatened, where people we love are threatened, instead of reacting on the instinctive level of letting fear take over, do we act on the higher instinctive level, where we come from the, our soul source, the source of all sources in our soul, the companion of our soul, our conscience, that we know exactly what to do. This also reminds me of the story of Jesus Christ, when the adulterer, when this woman was ready to be stoned. And we all know the story. The group that encircled them put down their stones when Jesus said, "Ye who is without sin, cast the first stone." And the story goes on. Jesus writes something in the dirt. And then, they all drop their stones. And the woman asked Jesus, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? And basically, he tells the woman to go her way and just don't do it anymore. It's so simple. And it's the same with our conscience. It teaches us, just don't do it anymore if we've made wrong choices. But to go our way, to raise our vibration, to, just not do it anymore, but make those choices in life that brings, happiness, joy, that takes courage. The choice that this nun made, with her paper sword, she didn't think about, because she was already that. She was already courageous. She already had built up that spiritual strength through her belief and love for God, for Buddha, for the higher self, for who she is, was, and ever will be. She knew who she was. Just like Dr. Abdi knew who she was and is. So do we have that spiritual strength to not worry about, when we make this choice, a choice in life, or we are at a crossroads, is our conscience strong enough so that we can make that choice without worry? Oh, what are people going to think? Oh, how will it affect the future? I could lose everything. I could lose my reputation. I could lose face. This fear of loss, this fear of death, the unknown. With strong conscience, we can stand firm. And it's just character, who we are, and what we believe. Not worrying about tomorrow or what others think or how we appear to the world, appear to the public. Knowing in deepest of faith and belief, so we don't worry how it's going to affect others. Because it's just that. We just know our choice affects others, yes. But in the most positive way. Just think these stories, the koan, has not only affected the people involved, but affected all the people who read about it, heard about it, talked about it. But, they talk about it, about people's courage and, but they see it as over there. They see it in that person. They see, oh, I wish I could be like that. Or I'm not like that. They don't see that these heroes, these examples of what human beings are, is who we are. So yes, do your practices so that it is just your character, second nature, that if anything tries to threaten your well-being, be it your health or your physical or emotional, mental, whatever, your well-being, you just know exactly what to do. The will becomes God's will. Your remembrance or memory is of the inner strength, inner power of this child of God. The time when we walked with God, talked with God. Any time, in any moment of the day. So, one of the exercises that is important that we all do, we do a self-check. But what we can do is a daily self-check. between 10 a.m. and 3:30, that is when that psychic energy is really energized. There's a lot of pressure on the psyche, a lot of pressure on the soul. So when the sun goes down, the body starts to relax. So you can do this in the evening or before going to bed, to go hour by hour of what you did during the day. And if you were angry, irritated, because all of that affects your karma. Instead of saying, oh, I failed, or oh, I did it again, or oh, I lost control. You are the observer. You are the witness to what you did during the day, hour by hour. And if there's something that you aren't proud of, or there's something that, affects your karma negatively, then just null it, void it, no longer need it, clear it, delete it from all time, space, dimensions, and reality, and that feeling, and just don't do it again, and just let it go, give it to God. Let go and let God. And go through each hour. And it takes practice to do this every evening. We're all human. We all get angry. We all, get impatient. We may gossip. We may not think nice thoughts. That all affects our future, what happens in the future. So instead of, as we go through the day, just leave it in God's hand. Just let it go, and just don't do it again. Do this for at least 21 days. 30 days would be even better. And see what happens. See what habits you create. You might find yourself being more patient, more loving and kind, more generous. And that's the secret to prosperity, is in the giving. That's the first step, the ability to give. Let go, make room for more to come. So we've given you an exercise to help with, our conscience, with our prosperity, with our habits, creating positive habits. And we really encourage you to do this exercise for 30 days, 21 to 30 days. Thank you. Please prepare yourself for deep level meditation. Relax. And go deeply within. deep within the inner seeing, deep within the inner being. And if you haven't done so, connect with the light. 300 to 500 feet above your head. See a light descending. It can be a golden light, a pure, clear, white light. See it descending into your crown, clearing all the negative thoughts. Clearing your third eye, all the false images, dissolving those false images and idols. Clearing your eyes till your eyes are shining brighter than the noonday sun. Clearing your ears so that we hear this wee small voice of God. Clearing our mouth and our throat so sweet words of the truth come forth that penetrate this world of illusion, clearing the weight that's on our shoulders, the heart, clearing the weight that weighs upon our heart, opening up our heart to God's love and grace and radiance, clearing up our hands so we manifest the highest and the greatest that is within us. Seeing this light clearing every level of consciousness, all through the soles of our feet, into the center of the earth, the pure nectar of love, and see this light coming back up, up, up through the soles of the feet, into our heart, radiating from every direction from our heart out. And beyond this planet. Relax. Red crystal fire light, red crystal fire light, rose red crystal fire light, orange crystal fire light, orange crystal fire light, orange crystal fire light, yellow crystal fire light, yellow crystal blue crystal fire light, sky blue crystal fire light, blue crystal fire light, indigo crystal fire light, indigo crystal fire light, indigo crystal fire light, violet crystal fire light, violet crystal fire light, violet crystal fire light, gold crystal fire light, golden crystal fire light, gold crystal fire light. Now into a clear white light. Rest and relax in the clear white light. And in this clear white light, call upon Archangel Michael to be here now. Severing as he lifts his sword over you, and he severs all negative cords that bind you to old habits, conditioned reactions, inherited tendencies. Now in this white light, visualize your dream. See it, feel it with emotion. Now see what will happen in your life, the positive things that will happen in your life when you get this dream, when it becomes a reality. See the joy, people happy for you, your family. See how it affects the community. Your family, your ohana, the world. Now release this vision. Now envision all the things that are blocking you from this dream. If this dream materializes, what can go wrong? What can ruin it? What are the fears? We become too big for our britches, fear for our safety, fear that there's no time for ourselves, fear of loss, that we can lose it. All the fears, see it. Don't be afraid to feel it, to see it. Now ask Archangel Michael to dissolve these fears, to dissolve these blocks, to annihilate them. To annihilate all the false expectations. Now see once again, in this moment, your dream, you're living your dream the most positive way. Now let the dream go, the vision go. And thank Archangel Michael. Sword and his shield protecting you. Now see a crystal river flowing from infinity, flowing into the center of your being, to the center of your dream, revealing this all possibility, giving life to this all possibility. And see a twin river flowing from the throne of God into the center of the dream, center of our all possibility, of our being. And these two rivers become one. Now expand out, out, out in this light. We are shining as 10,000 times, 10,000 suns. Bring this energy back, 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 up through the soles of our feet, down through the center of our crown, in through the palms of our hands, whirling at the threefold flame of our heart, breathing new life, new energy into every cell of our being, into our dreams. And when we're all the way back into the body, rub the palms together and cup them gently over the eyes. We may do this now. Blessings. Thank you so much for joining us today, and God bless you. We'll see you next week.